What's going on, guys? Welcome back by the channel. Hey, if you're new here today, my name is Will and you're at our channel W&W Mods. Here at this channel you might see a little bit of everything. We do it yourself, we do vehicle modifications, and we do product reviews. And today's video is going to be a do-it-yourself oil change on a 6th gen Chevy Camaro Super Sport. If you're like me, when I took my car to the dealership the first time for them to change the oil, I kind of had sticker shock when I came back. I was like, ugh, man, that cost a lot. I won't do that again. And if you're also like me, you don't like to trust your vehicle with just anybody. So if I can do it myself, that's what I prefer to do. So as you can see, I've got the hood up. The engine's cool. It's been sitting here all day. We haven't cranked it. And for the essence of time, I've already jacked it up. But with all that being said, guys, let's get into the video. All right, everybody. Like I said, this is going to be an oil change on the 6th gen Chevy Camaro Super Sport. We're going to be using 0W40 is the oil. And it is going to have the dextrose additive in there. Some people like that additive, some people don't. Some people say it's a gimmick by Chevrolet for you to buy their product. I guess that could go really either way. But with that being said, let's get under here and I'll show you. When you get under these Camaros, if you own one, you'll know that real estate, hard real estate on the bottom is very, very precious. Means you don't have a whole lot of it. So what I've done on the support beam that goes across, I've jacked the car up and I put 2 jack stands on the bottom, and I've left the jack up also. I have no interest in being crushed by a vehicle, so that's pretty much where I place. It's really about the only good place that you can place your stands and your jack, because there's very little metal up underneath this car to do any jacking up, because there's they try to make them as light as possible, and I guess also as cheap as possible, who knows. But anyway, these are my jack stand placements, and it's right under that cross beam, and it is just past the oil drain plug, which is right there. I don't know if you can see it. The camera don't want to focus. Right there it is. We'll be taking the oil drain out, and the filter for the vehicle is right on the other side, and you can see the top half of it right there. Now, this vehicle holds 10 quarts of oil. You say, wow, 10 quarts. Well, yeah, that's what I said. Wow, 10 quarts. And if any of you guys have ever priced the oil for this thing, it's not cheap. And if you go to the dealership, Chevy dealership, to get it, I suggest you do some pricing around, because you would not believe the difference in the price based on what dealership you are at. I have not been able to find this oil at AutoZone, Advance, or O'Reilly's. O'Reilly's did say they could order it, but it's over $12 a quart, and I thought that was just a little too high. So I did some shopping around, and I was able to get the oil for under $9 a quart. It was like I think it was $8 a quart, and there was 10 quarts of it, so you can do the math on that. And I did get the oil filter. I did get a Geninuin Chevrolet oil filter, because I like to keep parts like that manufacturer spec'd, and what better way to do that than to buy it from the manufacturer. So the oil filter run me about, let's see, I priced it in one place it was $5.99, in another place it was $8. So I picked up the $5.99. They're both the same model number, same part number, and so you can see how prices vary. And if you'll look over here, guys, I have my oil catch can. I did a video on this not too long ago. My oil catch can, I did that, put that in myself. And of course we did the cold air intake. Did that myself. I have already emptied out this oil catch can because I was curious a couple of weeks ago of how much it was catching, or if it was catching anything at all. And I was very, very, very surprised at how much oil that little can, I don't know if you can see, it's a very small little can. And it's a Mishimoto. They are rather expensive, I think, for a can, but what's that old saying? Sometimes you get what you pay for. And this might be one of those times. But anyway, this oil catch can caught a lot. I do mean a lot of blowback oil. It was about half. Let's see, the oil had about 5,000, 6,000 miles on it. And the can was just about, just under a half full. And this would have been oil that blew back into the intake for the engine to reburn. And then of course, you know, that causes all types of other issues. So hopefully that reduced some of the wear and tear on the engine during this test run in between the oil changes. And I was pretty impressed on how it turned out. So guys, let me show you the oil. The oil that I use, well, what Chevrolet calls for, is a full synthetic, advanced synthetic, 0W40, the ESP formula. It is the official oil of NASCAR, and it does have the dextrose approved additives in the oil. And if you go to try to find it in some of your stores, I cannot find this. I can find 0W40, and I can find some 0W40. I mean, I'm sorry, I can find 0W30, but I can't find any 0W40 that has the dextrose additives or dextrose approved. All it really is basically additives that Chevrolet has decided that they need to put in their vehicles. And I hear tell that there are a lot of oils that you can use instead of the ones that have the dextrose logo on them, because I think they have to pay a licensing fee once they to put that on there. But anyway, I'm not an oil expert and don't claim to be, so I'm going to stay out of that realm since I'm not anywhere near an expert. So as you can see, official oil of NASCAR, and it is the ESP formula 0W40 with dextrose approved certificate. So 10 quarts of this is going to hurt your wallet just a little bit, but you pay this much for these cars and you run them kind of hard, you want the engine to be properly lubricated. So I guess it's time to crawl under this beast and see what kind of mess we can make. All right, to start this show, like I said, we jacked the vehicle up. I do have the vehicle jacked slightly higher to the driver's side, just so I can get a little bit more of a tilt underneath on that oil drain. I would normally pull the car up on a ramp, but this front splitter prohibits me from doing that, so I have to do it the old-fashioned way. It'd be nice if I had a lift, but you know, that's maybe somewhere in the future. Anyway, the bolt size on the oil pan is 15 millimeter, and you got to have something to catch your oil in. You can pretty much pick these up at anywhere, Walmart, Target, any of your auto parts places, and make sure it's empty, because you got to put 10 quarts of oil in here, so that's a lot of oil that's gonna have to go in here. And always remember, remove this first, okay? and pop open this breather tube so the oil will flow easily down into to the bucket. You don't want to find out once you've had the oil started flowing that you haven't taken out the drain or you haven't opened up your breather valve. So anyway guys, let's get under there and get that bolt loose and get some oil draining. Alright, I was going to shoot this video with my GoPro head mount, but that seemed to be not so much a good idea. So we're going to do it with my regular camera, and we're going to get under here. It would sure be nice if I had that lift. All right, well we got the pan in place, and we're getting ready to take the oil drain plug out. Again, it's a 15 millimeter, and try not to make a teetotal mess, because you get this oil on your shop floor. Look out! I'm not happy that my jack stand is almost right there where my drain is, so we may have to loosen this a little bit at a time. That kind of tight. And before I do this, I know what's going to happen. I'm going to need a rag. Good to have you some shop rags around, or the paper towels. I prefer to use gloves when I'm doing this, but everything else is on short supply in the stores. I'm out of gloves, so here we go. Should be very close to coming off. Fairly long bolt. The anticipation. Is there for sure. Oops. Missed the pan there to start with. As I told you, I didn't care for the placement of the placement of my jack stand. And looks like it was right in the way, so yeah, I'm gonna have some oil to clean up. I don't have a particular time that I change my oil. I usually let the car decide when that meter starts getting down to about 20%, which I think we're on about 25 right now. I start getting ready to change it. All right, now while we're letting that oil drain off the bottom, and before we take the oil filter out, we're going to take the oil drain plug and just set it over there and set it aside. Set it aside while we wait on that oil to drain down. Then we're going to take off the oil filter. All right, while we're letting the last of that oil start to drip out, we're going to take off the oil filter, which is right here. And the oil filter should really only be hand tight. A lot of people put them on a little tighter than that, which makes them very, very hard to get off. I've had to take screwdrivers and other things and have to pry it loose. This one I pre-loosened just a little bit, so we're able to come off very easily. Plenty of oil in the oil filter. Just turn it slowly. It will eventually come off in your hand. Now we'll let all that drain for just a little while. Alright, now we're just about done dripping and draining. Got the oil filter removed. Now, let's see. Wipe off any oil that was spilt up in here. See if I'm going to see if I can get you guys a shot of that spot where the oil filter come out of. All right. If you look right there, that's where the oil filter goes. That's where we'll screw the new one back up to. You see it's right straight across from the drain. So we'll screw the new one up in there about hand tight. Alright, before we screw the new filter up in there, it's always a good idea to put a light bead of oil around that seal because they come pretty dry. I don't know if it really makes any difference. So I've always been taught that. Just take it and you can get it on your finger and just go around the outer edge, put a little bit of oil. You can get it from your, you can just use the old oil and moisten that seal up before you screw it up there. Alright, it doesn't matter if you put the oil filter on first or the drain plug. I've got the oil filter in my hand here, so I'm going to use it first. I'll wipe off some more of this oil and drip down here. Nobody likes an oily vehicle, especially us Camaro owners. No oil, please. Now, And make sure that you thread this correctly. You don't want to cross thread it. But you can tell it'll go on there pretty easily when it's in the right direction. Alright, so you snug it up about hand tight. That's about all you want. Any more than that, you're going to cause yourself a problem later on down the road. And we don't need any of that. So, anyway, we're good and hand tight right there. And then we're going to put this plug back in and get it tightened back down. Still going to have a little drip of oil. It'll probably drip all day if you let it. Again, don't cross thread it. Should screw in fairly easy, which it did. And wipe off the excess oil right there. And you want to get your socket. Set it to tighten. This doesn't have to be that tight. You just want it snug. I believe that's pretty snug. Let me try one more angle here and make sure I got it. All right. That's good and tight. All right, let's get some oil back in her. The way this engine cover is designed on here, it's not necessary to have a funnel with a hose, but as you can see, that opening is at an angle, and I don't want oil going all down on my manifold and everything else, and I'm sure you don't want either. So try to avoid that if at all possible. Get you a nice funnel with a drain hose, and that way you don't get oil all over your engine. Alright, remember, 0W40, using the Mobil 1. And guys, by the way, all these products and everything that you see on my videos, I'm not sponsored by anybody, and I don't really recommend any one particular brand over another. I'll just usually give you my honest opinion on it and tell you what I think about it. So I've used Mobil 1 for a long time, and there may be better oils out there, but I like Mobil 1, so I tend to stay with what I know and what I like. I know they make a AC Delco brand of this oil for this particular car, same weight, everything. But it's the AC Delco brand, and it's about $12.99 a quart. So I'm not going to use that when I have this as an option. Now again, this is going to take 10 quarts, so it's going to take a while. That's one down. To me, it's not a whole lot of miles. I bought it back in 2019. I'd like to have less on it than that, but you know, I got it to drive. I drive it on the weekends. It's not by no means my daily driver. With today's gas prices, there's no way I could afford that. All right, got the funnel out of the way. And I spent a little drop there when I was pulling that off, but it's easier to get up a drop than it is to get up a complete pour. So and just like I figured, there's not that much in there. Still some, but not that much in there. So we're gonna pour that little bit out. Since I got it off. I really do recommend an old catch can for pretty much any of your vehicles. Of course, you know, not diesel or anything like that, but I do recommend an old catch can. As you can see, they do work. And as I can say, it was about half full when I went to get it out last time. So hopefully it's stopping some of that oil from going back into the engine. And just put that back on there hand tight. And we put our oil cap back in place. Just won't be hard to get along with. I really like the way that fits, but it's on there. I know you guys couldn't see it, but I was fiddling with this oil cap. I don't like the way it sits down in there. You would think, I mean, there's a nice rubber seal in there, but you would think it'd be a little tighter, but oh well. All right, we're gonna crank her up and check for leaks and reset that computer. All right, we are inside the car. We're gonna fire it up. Steering wheel straight. Well, our gauges align. Tell me that the hood's open. I know that. I don't want to select that. we've got the vehicle cranked, and as you can see, I've got 10,603 miles on the vehicle. We're going to reset the oil life meter. So we go down, here's our oil life, move over, hit select. It says, are you sure you want to reset? Yes. Oil life back to 100%. All right, we'll let it run for a second, and we're going to get out and see if we've got any leaks. All right, I'm watching underneath the car to see if we see any leaks. Don't see any. So it's about time to wrap this video up, get this mess cleaned up. All right, everybody, that was the do-it-yourself oil change on the 6th gen Camaro, which 2018, 2019, 2020, 2021, any of those models will work. If you were on the fence about changing your oil yourself after seeing this video, I hope you can see how easy it was. It takes just a little bit of time. If I hadn't been doing the filming, I probably could have got this oil change done in about 20 minutes. But having to stop, reposition the camera, and so forth takes a little bit longer. But it's all for you guys. I hope you liked what you've seen here today. And like always, hit that like button, the subscribe button, clang on that notification bell, and let you know anytime we put up some new content. So guys, I got to get out of here. Got to clean up my mess, get this oil off my hands. So you know what that means. I'll see you on the next one.